Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost and we're dealing with PTSD, trauma, narcissistic abuse, slaying demons, aligning with source, doing all sorts of things on this channel, and I'm so happy you're here. And I'm going to give you something, a little exercise, because I know a lot of you are asking me, please look at the, if you're asking about where do I start with PTSD, all that kind of stuff, I want you to let go of everything you've tried so far. I've had years of experience in personal development. I studied psychology. There was so much I'd done, and I was in that absolute crossroads with PTSD for a long time. Actually, not that long. If you look at over my life, when I didn't know what it was manifesting as anxiety. It was manifesting as panic attacks. I thought I was anxious. I wondered if I had a mood disorder, but that didn't seem to fit. I wondered lots of things. So if I actually look at it, in my whole life, I did have it for at least over a decade, not knowing what it was. Again, if you are not suffering, some people are managing not to be triggered emotionally, but coming out in very physical reactions. That would be still trauma. I still think. So I wanted to go back. There's one on healing from psychological abuse. There's one on healing from emotional abuse. There's 3 videos on PTSD, CPTSD. Not everything I say you might find relevant. Just leave what isn't relevant to you, but don't not take what is. So be open to, I don't make very long videos, so just be open, because there could be a nugget in there and you'll get the principles. But in principle, what I'm saying is PTSD is not a mind issue. Most of us are dealing on a level of the mind. We've also got very overstimulated minds, which is an issue. And our bodies are at PTSD, our body's in a completely overstimulated state. It's like our fuses have blown, our circuit system has just combusted, right? So what we have to do is, first of all, come into regulation, because it's very natural for the body to process emotions naturally. Just like we go to the toilet and eliminate poop, we actually, not that emotions are poop, but we are supposed to process and release a lot of things in our bodies beyond just what we eat and drink. And emotions are one of them. But they're not just there to be, they're not just a problem. They're one of our greatest assets. Our emotions get us closer to who we are, how we feel, and our truth. Everyone has a message for you. Everyone needs to be listened to. But it's difficult to get the message when we're in a highly reactive state. So I'm teaching you a number of things, and I'm going to give you a little exercise. But the first thing is, once we come into regulation in our nervous system, the body actually starts naturally processing emotions. And when you've processed the emotions, so you're not in a highly charged state, then you can go and have a conversation or set a boundary or do what you need to do. Right? And it's better to process the emotion first, and then you could go back, which is a kind of a stage 2 thing I take people through, and say, where else have I felt that way? Where did those feelings come from? And you can do other exercises and other things I can take you through. But right now, I just want you to come back into regulation. Now, obviously, if you meditate, that's an excellent thing to do. But for people who are highly anxious and highly triggered and highly activated, sometimes it can be extremely hard and make you even more irritated when you try and meditate. So a lot of what I do with people in my programs and stuff is, well, 1, I work on the conscious brain. 2, I kind of put them in a state they can easily get into that doesn't require them just to completely switch off and meditate, which can be very difficult when we're highly charged, right? But all I want you to do is start coming into your body more into the day, which is this, and you can listen to this at any point. As simple as, just center with yourself, right? Ground yourself. Your body knows what to do. And just drop your awareness down into your body. Your body does know what to do. And you might feel uncomfortable there, and you might be aware of any tightness or heaviness, and you might not. And maybe you're just in your head and you don't know what I'm talking about, and it's getting annoying, and that's okay too. But just as much as you can for now, we take it day by day, step by step. I just want you to know that your body knows what to do. And sink your awareness down, all the way down into your body. And you might be more aware now as you go through your day and as you're thinking through your day of what you can just sense. I just want you to be present in awareness with your senses. What can you hear? What can you see? What can you smell? What can you taste? And as you go through your day, I just want you to be in your awareness more and drop down into your body as much as you can. And when you feel yourself getting hyper anxious or in your head too much anxiety, too much thinking, drop down into your body. You know what to do. Your body knows what to do. And as you connect with your body, you might feel things and you might not right now. That doesn't matter. The point is you're going to do this until you do. And your body knows what to do. And if your head is running wild and got lots of thoughts, it doesn't matter. Your body knows what to do. This does work. This always works. You just do it over time. And soon it becomes automatic, but your body knows what to do. So just ground yourself. And you might want to take a deep breath, but you might not. It doesn't really matter what you do. And your mind might be confused why I'm talking and why it's so confusing, and that's okay. Your body knows what to do. And then, if you can, I want you to take a deep breath into your stomach. See if you can feel your belly. Just intend that whatever you can release, you release right now. And anything else is fine and can be there. This isn't a process you need to force or try or push against. We're letting all the resistance go and down. All the resistance can go. You haven't got to fight anything. You haven't got to resist anything. And you might want to shake your shoulders or get looser in your body, but you might not. And now I want you to move your energy. So our energy is supposed to be swirly, but it gets quite linear when we're in PTSD. So it really helps if you just do like figure of eights. Figure of eights, it starts moving your energy field. Sounds very simple, doesn't it? Really works. Figure of eights, and then like kind of swimming hands, pushing out your aura, pushing out the energy. Even if you're really tired, you can do this thing. Okay. And you haven't got to reach up high. And if you've got pain in your body, don't worry, just do a tiny figure of eight. If you've got disabilities, that's okay. You can still imagine your energy swirling in a figure of eight, or just swirling around you. We're just moving the energetic field. And as we do that, I want you to connect to anything you want to just stop, get out of your system, right? Don't have to know what it is. Don't think this, just feel it. And you can do this move. Doesn't have to be that hard. If you're in tension, if you're in pain, with your breath. Okay? Something very simple that you can start with. No massive, I don't put strain on the body. I don't recommend we we're trying to let go of resistance. We're trying to come into ourselves. And if all of that is too much and you can't remember it and it's stressed, every day, hand on the heart. See how much I touch my body, because I'm always channeling such a lot of energy. I'm always trying to stay grounded. And at the very end, you can give your human a big hug. Trust me with this, it all works. I do, and again, I can only do so much on the channel because we're all at different stages, but these are very, very grounding principles that we can all do, right? So yeah, just give your human a hug. Sometimes no one's given us a hug. Yeah, we get to give one to ourselves and it gets to be just as good. All right, my loves, if you do that, tell me what you think. And remember, when something's coming in your head, no, no. And then I go back into my body and I ground. Food's very grounding. Obviously, people worry about their weight. Food does ground us. Anything that brings us into our physical senses. Just like sometimes even taking a deep breath, because when I was suffering from panic attacks, people would do breathing exercises. I couldn't do it. This is just me personally. For many people, and breath work is so amazing, right? I'm sure it's like there's so many great things out there, and we find what's right for us. But again, what I look at is how and why things work, and use principles and adapt them. You see, like my work's solid because I know why it works. There's nothing I could teach you that if you asked me, I wouldn't have a very, very deep explanation of why it works. And how, and that's why I can bring it to you so well, you know, and I can bespoke it. So breathwork for a lot of people works. For me, because for a lot of my life not in the last 5 years actually, yeah, but there was a time for a long time where I'd have chronic panic attacks. Like I could not breathe. I felt like I couldn't breathe. It was really bad, and so any kind of thing to do with my breathing would make me a lot worse. So for me personally, like breathwork's amazing. We want to it's using the breath. But when I was going through a lot of things, concentrating too much on the breath was too much for me personally. I needed something to distract my mind. And so a lot of what I do, because I used to do things for myself, I used to channel things and literally heal myself, right? The sorts that I share with people. But like, I needed to distract my mind and come into my body. And part of what I do is that, because we get open to downloads, we get open to new information when we're a little bit confused. It's like so in my courses, like in sovereign stuff, what I'm saying is like I create environments that stimulate change, because we want to be receptive to change, and that's getting us out of our heads and kind of out of our patterning and what we expect. So yeah, that's kind of techniques I've used so that it is very effective, because you don't know what's coming next, which means that you open to receive rather than resist so much, because we're in a lot of resistance. So that's just something fun. Okay, and if you want to join Sovereign, we're officially opening that on Monday. It's only a small group at the moment, and I'm not going to have a big group in there because I like to give a high level of support. So I'm not taking a lot of people in. As I build up my, what I'm doing, I in terms of how many people at once, I'm very keen on supporting the people I'm with, and I'm not ever going to, in my personal work with people, take on more than I know I can 100% support and feel, for now anyway. That's how I feel about it. So that's it for now. Lots of love. Please let me know your feedback, and I'll speak to you soon.